Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we'll get started on our next multiplayer matchup. We're going to be playing on the Ghostland Strategic Command objective, 2,000 points. I'm going to be playing as the Necrons, and we're going to be going against the Adeptus Sororitas. It'll be an 80-point target, 8-turn limit, so we'll see what we can do. This can sometimes be a little bit of a challenging map for the Necrons because there's so much obstruction. Now this was against, the recording was started when my video drivers were corrupted, so I wasn't able to get the start of the episodes here to kind of go over my force selection here. But I've got several immortals, 2 or 3 of them with the Tesla cannon, the rest have the Gauss blasters in case he ends up going with a heavy vehicle build, and the Tesla cannons should help us take out a lot of his light tier infantry. I did end up going for a Lich Guard because I'm just worried with how well the Adeptus Sororitas can go that he might try to assassinate my Necron Lord, so I'm going to bring him along, and then they should also be useful to help me lock down any flamers that they may overextend as well. Now I had those guys over, or I had my Necron Lord start there, but I actually should have started him over here, I think, because what I like to do is with this passive ability he'll increase your movement. So I think I should have started over here and then had him run to the other side to get these guys going quicker.
Annihilation barge, awaiting your directive.
And we'll just kind of get all these guys over here as much as possible, because that's one of the downsides to the Necrons, is they tend to have kind of a slower movement.
Heavy fire support.
And so hopefully by using the buffed movement through our Necron Lord here, this should help him get these guys going to get into range here. Because chances are he's going to have more movement capabilities than we are and get to the strategic command point before we can. And then what I'm going to do is fight mostly on the sides of the map here, and then at the end we'll close in on the middle. Because the big thing is I just need to take it slow and steady here, because he's definitely going to have more maneuverability than I am. And we also want to make sure we don't overextend ourselves and end up getting flamed too much with our infantry. So yeah, as expected, he's pushing the center. We're dropping these guys down too, so that's nice. Now, unfortunately, it's just a Sister of Battle, so they're only worth like 65 points. But every little bit will help. Because really with, when playing against the Adeptus Sororitas, this is going to become a battle of attrition. Alright, so here's our first Tesla. And then, let's see, he's got multiple guys coming up top here. I was originally going to have the Praetorians over there to hold the battle line, but that may not actually be the best way of doing this. So we'll run the Immortals up to here and just finish these guys off with the Gauss. And then I should just be able to run you up here to capture this point. Okay, so he's got some Retributors up here. Arcoflagellants. Okay, and there's a Rhino, so who knows what he has inside the Rhino there. If I move these guys up, they're still going to be out of range, I think, of the Rhino. Yeah. That's what I thought. So that was kind of a mistake. Let's see, I could run you up here. I don't think that's worthwhile, though. I think slow and steady, again, making this a battle, an attrition battle, is the best way to be.
Taking fire. Quantum shields active.
Let's see here. I'm a little worried I'm going to be overextending this guy if I do this. Okay, so
Firing.
looks like he's got 2 battle sisters on each side. Okay, and then he's got penitent engines behind. I doubt if I move the Necron Lord up here that I'll get an extra movement back, but if I could, that'd be very helpful because I could then fly him down to get off of this ramp. But I'm almost positive that's not going to work because I think you need to have at least 1 movement, yeah. So you need to have at least 1 movement to get the bonus movement. Otherwise it would be game breaking and it would keep giving you additional movement. So that's a bit unfortunate. Let's start shifting him over here, I guess.
The sound of our guns will herald their death.
Alright, perfect. So that'll soak up the Overwatch there. I could jump these guys, but then they're just going to get killed by the penitent engines. So I don't think that really makes much sense. Alright, so we got some Sister Repentia up there. Interesting that these guys' hit chance is so poor.
Processing. Heavy fire support.
Well, let's move you over 1. And then I guess we'll just keep the warriors over here to try to body block. I want to keep these guys away from the center because I don't want them to come flame me. Probably should have attacked there first, because all I'm doing is increasing their evasion. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so you should be safe from the flamers. And then the immortals should have enough armor that they should be able to tank frag grenades if they do get attacked. Yeah, and these guys' chance to hit is just abysmal due to the obstruction in front of you here. Alright, good. Well, I guess let's try to charge through here, and if we get a good enough hit, we might overpower them and take the spot. Nice, and we do. So now that's ours, and the points are allocated on our turn. So that's excellent. Bring the warriors over to here to just body block our command point.
Waiting. Heavy fire support. We serve the Triarch. Immortals awaiting command.
Well, I guess let's bring you over to here to at least set up some Overwatch if he tries to take back this square.
Overwatch. Heavy fire support.
And then maybe I just bring these guys over here, because he'll likely be able to kill my guys and take back the point, so that should help hold the line there. And then maybe we hide you over here. And have you set up some Overwatch like this.
Overwatch.
And then I guess we'll have you Overwatch too, but this is going to be kind of a waste if he runs down with the Arcoflagellants, which he's likely going to do.
There are some set. The sound of our guns will herald their death. Heavy fire support.
And then we'll just move these guys up here, and you should be, as long as you land one shot, you should get the kill. There you go. So now they're dead, so I don't have to worry about trying to kill them next turn if they do somehow knock me off the point. Okay, he's got a bunch of Seraphim with Infernal pistols over there. Alright, let's see how badly he hurts me for my overextension with the Annihilation Barge, because he should be able to just fly over and take it out with his Seraphim. Yeah, so as expected, using the Arcoflagellants to absorb the Overwatch. Ah, he's got Sister Repentia. Shit, 2 of them should definitely be enough to kill the Annihilation Barge. My only hope is that when they blow up, it's enough to really kill the Repentia here. Now, that barely did any damage actually to them. Usually they get themselves killed on explosions. Alright, good. Oh, here comes the Retributors. Getting some nice crits. Alright, nice. Oh, probably gonna blessed ammo. Yep. Are they still alive? Oh, not anymore, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he already resurrected, so I don't think that's real. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's a glitch in the system. Alright, here comes a Penitent Engine. Another Penitent Engine. Sisters of Battle. What I would recommend is attacking with the Repentia first if you're going to do that, and then using the Sisters of Battle to finish them off. Now, he did it because he was hoping they were going to get some kills and stop the counterattacks, is what I suspect was going on. But if you're going to bring these Seraphim over, then you should have just attacked with them first, because I would have killed some models, and then the Repentia could have gone in on there. Alright. So we got ourselves a situation here. We'll bring you up to here. Now the hope is that if I kill these guys, it should arc over and kill the other ones too. Not enough, unfortunately. So that means I'm going to have to waste another round of attacks here. Because I cannot have those Repentia just running around causing havoc. Now, interestingly, he doesn't have a Canoness in the Rhino, or he would have unloaded them, I would imagine. But I would think a Canoness would be exceptionally powerful against a Necron, so I'm actually a little surprised I'm not seeing that. Alright, I do have the Tesla boys here. And I always struggle, like, should I kill the Seraphim or the Repentia? And I think I want to take out the Repentia instead. Because my guys can survive getting attacked.
A single strike. Being intercepted.
By the Repentia, or the Seraphim, easier than they can the Seraphim. Damn. Well, go ahead and shoot him, I guess. Good job. And then if I bring you up to here, I think you can actually hit the Penitent Engine, can you not? Yeah, 75% chance. Nice, and you critted, so it's a one-shot kill. That's huge for us.
We serve
he still has that other penitent engine, so if he just came over here, he'd flame down my warriors.
Heavy fire support.
I do still have the Locust Heavy Destroyers here. Maybe we just pull him back to here and start shooting the Rhino so he doesn't use it to body block any of these points.
They test our resolve.
And I've got the Praetorians here. You're still here. I mean, if I come there, then you're going to be easily killed by everybody else. I guess we'll just do a 50-50 shot. This is where I hate that I don't have actual accuracy to tell me where it is, because it's like, okay, that seems like it'd be less than a 50-50. One, two, three, four. 1, 2. Yeah, so if I come over to here, you should be safe. 2, 3, 4. 4. Yeah. 2. So this should be good, because he can move 4, and then he's got a heavy flamer, which means the maximum range is 2. And then, if I charge, I might be able to knock him off the point. Nice, that's 2 overwhelms. We've been very lucky with how that's worked for us so far, so we ended up taking this point back again. And because the points are allocated on our turn, that's of critical importance.
Heavy fire support.
Because again, early on, he has way more maneuverability than I do. Alright, let's see. And maybe I move you over to here. And then you could shoot into some of these guys up on the ledge.
Progressing. Firing on target.
We're taking fire.
Alright, there goes 2 of them.
Our duty is tireless.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so you would definitely get attacked. So let's pull these guys back to here, because the Seraphim are probably going to just fly over here and take this point. So maybe... let's just summon some more warriors here. And then I don't understand. So if I come here, it's like you barely have any chance to hit. So this is like the invisible obstacles that are on some of these game maps. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like it should be a nice clear space if they're straight back, but it seems like because there's cracked ground there, that's going to lower their accuracy. So it's like, what the hell? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. So if I come here, you should just barely be in range from those Seraphim. And if they do come after you, it shouldn't be enough to get the kill. But it will be enough to allow me to easily kill them the following turn. So maybe we can bait them into there, but I suspect they're going to just run
We are endless.
to come after that point to capture.
We serve the Triarch.
Alright, nice. They're down. Alright. Those Praetorians have been doing a lot of good work for us. Alright, good job. Oh, man. They just happened to hit the ones that were lowest health to get some model kills there. Alright, they're shooting into me there. He's buffing up his units. I can't see what they did. Must have did movement, maybe? Alright, let's see. Seraphim are flying. Yep, going after the point. That's what I thought they were going to do. Alright, and Penitent Engine actually comes over to the side here. I was not expecting that. Okay, and he's got another Seraphim squad up here. And his Sister Superior is his HQ commander. And he's starting to shift the Retributors towards the center, knowing that he's winning the battle on the other side.
Artillery.
Honestly, I'd rather kill this Penitent Engine, to be honest, than anything else. I mean, yeah, the Rhino would be nice to kill, but
Setting position.
he doesn't seem to be body blocking with it, so if he wants to use it offensively, then I need to just take out these more dangerous units. One of those attacks missed. Alright, let's move you over to...
Firing on target.
Shit. Here, I guess.
Immortals awaiting command.
Oh, you're my Tesla attack, too.
Progressing.
Well, I think you should still be able to get enough damage onto the Penitent Engine here. Yep, for sure. Nice. Alright, so he's down. So the Heavy Flamer has now been eliminated. That's huge for us. I assume he's going to just run the Seraphim down to try to take out my Locust Heavy Destroyers. If I could run past that zone of control and not get suppressed, I could capture that point again. We got this situation over here, too.
Heavy fire support.
The Teslas are really good at taking out the Repentia.
Our duty is tireless.
Honestly, if I jump you, I can land behind them here. And then hit with 100% accuracy. Took out one of the guys.
With authority.
And that'll put him in a position that he's either going to have to kill them or let us get a capture. Alright, so now it's going to show me as having good accuracy.
What?
Alright, I guess that's the best hit chance there.
Suffering is our prayer.
That wasn't great. Probably should have just used the Repentia. I think I wasted that attack. Yeah, I probably did, actually. That's unfortunate. Well, let's have you just shoot here and kill those guys. Drop another model.
Immortals awaiting command.
Bring you back here to body block this in case another Seraphim decides to fly around. Alright, let's bring you up to here. You actually have a lower chance to hit now. That is unfortunate.
Heavy fire support.
Well, if the Seraphim are going to sit there, then I guess let's bring these guys over here too to help get the kill so we can capture that point back. Because now we're in a 4-to-1 capture situation in his favor, unfortunately.
My empire awakens. Artillery.
Alright, and I can't fly up to this ledge.
We serve the Triarch.
And you're out of range, but you have an 87% chance to hit here, so if you land those attacks, you should pretty much get some kills.
We'll be intercepted.
Or not. You got one kill. That's pretty frustrating. Alright, and I can move this up to here. And attack here. Only a 35% chance to hit. But if I can kill the Sister Superior, that'll be huge, because she does have a power sword, so she does do good damage.
Your guardians await.
Let's see. You know what? I think if I do Scarab Swarm and drop it here, I should be able to capture those 2 points. I can't remember if I get 2 attacks on the first time and then I get no attacks, or if I use a charge attack if I don't have an AP left. I can't remember how the new ability works because they nerfed it so bad. So I'll just drop them here. Okay, so when you drop them, they don't have an AP, so they only have the charge attack, is how it works. I couldn't remember how that happened. Well, it'll still give me the 2 points, so it's still 3-2 in my favor. He'll just throw a frag grenade to kill the ones up top, I would imagine.
Our duty is tireless. What is your will?
But that definitely helps us. And then maybe, do I move these guys up to try to aggro some attacks? I think we need to move the Overlord.
What? Your guardians await.
Alright, and let's do your protection in case he tries to attack my Overlord here.
My empire
I don't think he would be able to, but just in case.
Immortals await in command.
Have these guys facing the right direction here. Spread these guys out.
The sound of our guns will herald.
And then, you know, I could do some damage here. 70% chance to hit. Or if I run through, I can turn it to a 4-1. I feel like I want to roll the dice. And those are bad dice to roll.
What?
Alright, 50-30. Alright, Retributors are shooting in. Yep, there goes the crack grenade, capturing the point back. Infernal pistols. Oh, interesting. He's going to try to Infernal pistol him down from the ledge. Yep. And Power Sword will definitely kill the Praetorians here.
Inevitable.
Alright, Rhino is attacking me. These guys are coming after my Locust Heavy Destroyers. Oh, he ended up conceding. Alright, well, I guess that's victory for us. So, I mean, we were going to win this, but a little premature, I would say. The big thing is you just got to remember that you need to be able to body block. So, it took out 2 Penitent Engines, 2 Arcoflagellants. I feel like we took out more than that. Maybe I'm mistaken, though. 4 Sister Repentia, 2 Battle Sisters, and a Seraphim. And let's see, Overlord didn't do much, but that's because he was just there for moral support. The Lich Guard had 100% accuracy. Locust Heavy Destroyers had a pretty abysmal showing this match, but they were also shooting at weird angles, so for the hits they did land, I was quite pleased, especially with the one-shot crit. Praetorians, 80%, that's where statistically they should be. The accuracy was a 33. Immortals usually are 80s to 90s for their percentage hits, and that's where it looks like today. Warriors is about 50-50, which is low, and that's one of the reasons I don't really like the Warriors too much. The other one is in the 90s. Annihilation Barge did well at a 93% accuracy, but then I overextended it, so I did not get my money's worth out of the Annihilation Barge. I guess if nothing else, it did aggro those Sister Repentia to attack it and allowing me to take the 2 of those out, because that's 180, but I think an Annihilation Barge is still greater than 180 points, so I still think that was a net loss. Definitely could have done better had that not died. And then one of the Triarch Praetorians had 0%, but that's just because he ran over there to capture a point, and then the other one was in the 90s, so definitely a decent showing here. But as I was saying, I think the big point of this match, and if you're playing against the Necrons on Strategic Command, is you need to be able to leave some low-tier units to protect your Strategic Command points, because the Necrons can potentially summon up to 4 Scarab Swarms to attack you every turn and then capture points. So instead of moving that Rhino around and trying to attack me with a weak bolter, it would have made much more sense for him to use that to body block. Now, I was unable to capture that last strategic command point on the right side of the map there, but that would have been recommended. And then if you just bring some Sisters of Battle with you, then they can sit there and throw the frag grenades, and then in one turn can end up wiping out the Scarabs, and also are a fairly cost-effective way of body blocking. You can do the same thing with the Arcoflagellants, but as you could see, like how our opponent used them, you typically like to also use them to just body block points in general, or to lock guys down in melee, especially when you're fighting the Necrons, which are usually a largely melee force. Now, we did get exceptionally lucky in that we overpowered, or overwhelmed, I guess is what the mechanic is called in this game, his Arcoflagellants on 2 of those charge attacks. It's unclear to me when it'll do it. I don't know if it's just a % chance when you're charging, or if you get enough damage to the health, because it seemed like sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But if you push them off the point, it's always really nice on these strategic command maps when that happens, because then you get access to that strategic command point, and then they have to waste attacks killing your units. Now, he sacrificed his Arcoflagellants to just do some weak attacks that were not going to kill my units, and allowed me to wipe out his squad. So again, with the Sisters, you need to keep your guys alive as much as possible. Not only can they act as momentum generators for you, but they also can act as body blockers, so then somebody like the Necrons has to weigh overkill if you're going to try to just keep capturing back points with injured units, or just to body block the path to the strategic command points with your units here. I think going with heavier Dominion Force would be much more effective if you're doing a Sisters build. You know, his Repentia actually did pretty decent. They're pretty good at killing the Praetorians, which can sometimes be a little bit tricky for the Sisters, because the Praetorians do have quite a bit of armor that they have to shoot through, and just a basic flamer does not do great at killing them. He went with the Sisters Repentia with the Infernal Pistols, which can be a very good choice. Perhaps if he had used the Seraphim with the Infernal Pistols and used those to focus down the Annihilation Barge instead of some weaker tier infantry, and then used his Repentia to lock down my other ranged units, that may have been a little more cost effective for him instead of keeping them grouped up like that. But then the Seraphim would have likely been grouped too. And then he had the Sister Superior, who is his HQ commander. That worked out well for him. As you can see, the Blessed Blade does really good damage against the Necrons. She's a pretty cost-effective leader. She has lots of buffs. It was unclear to me whether he was taking full advantage of that, giving him bonus HP and momentum and things like that. I think he did. But he may have just been using the Hospitaller buffs as well to reduce the damage reduction and give him bonus health, in which case that was the absolute right thing to do. The other thing to remember is the Canoness is exceptionally good against the Necrons, because as she kills 5 models, she'll get an extra AP, and then you can give her an extra attack using the Hospitaller, and then you can get her a bunch of evasion as well, especially if you're popping smoke and locking guys down into range. That can help her stay alive, because it usually takes many shots to drop her down or take her down, and that allows her to build up much more momentum. 1, to help your units get your command points built up, but 2, it also takes a lot of attacks from the Necrons to take her out at range. Obviously in melee she can be easier to drop and it's less of an issue. And then obviously the Locust Destroyers, you know, usually they're more of a pain in the ass. He was very smart by not bringing a very vehicle heavy force, because usually the Necrons can counter that real well with the Locust Heavy Destroyers and their Immortals with their Gauss Blasters. So he prudently decided against that. Now I have mixed feelings. Some maps the Exorcist can be quite good, and that would be another option, is you just run an Exorcist onto one of the command points, or not command points, the strategic command locations that you capture, and you just pop it down there, and then you can just sit there and do missile strikes for the rest of the map, or the rest of the mission, and then the Scarabs won't be able to get through that. Same with the Rhino after you've unloaded your troops. Unless you're going to load guys back in there to help you get more distance crossed, you could just put that on another strategic command point, and then again the Scarabs could attack those two vehicles for the whole mission and not do enough damage to be able to drop them. And then that would either force them to have to waste their attacks killing the Scarabs, or to just use the heavy bolter attack to finish them off. But that could have been a nice strategy as well. So with that, I'm going to call our quits for the day. A nice victory. I do think that the video quality may be a little bit better. Let me know what you guys think. I guess one blessing with having my video drivers get corrupted is it forced me to go back and look into my other drivers, and I realized I had my audio drivers were like a couple years old, so I don't know if the audio will sound any different. And then I upgraded the BIOS and some other drivers as well that I had not done in a while. I guess I just relied on the computer to tell me when updates were necessary, and that's not what you should do. So learn from me so you guys don't have trouble with your computer. But it does seem to be running much better now that I have a lot of different updates, as you would probably expect. So let me know if there's any change in the quality. But with that, I'm going to sign off. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe to encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.